understand it. Our husbands don't want to sleep with us anymore. Why?
Maybe he's afraid he'll wake up in your stomach. Let's rock.
Thanks, Dad.
Can I get a whooping?
Whoa, No Man presents, live from the nudie bar, the Married with Children podcast. And here are your hosts, Jerry, Justin, and Al.
Hey guys, it's Wednesday. We're live at the nudie bar. It's the Married with Children podcast, and wow, this episode I have been dying to cover, as any red-blooded American male would. This is Earth Angel. Before I get to that, though, let me introduce everybody. I am Al, as you know. And I am joined by the guy who lost a tree but gained a view, Jerry. What's up, brother?
All I see is beautiful sights.
Hey, listen, can you pay me $5 more to trim my hedges?
No, but you can pay me $5 more to look at my view.
You're right. I'll actually move into your house for the view. And we are also joined by the guy who can give it every 36 hours, Justin. What's up?
Yeah, man, it's...
It's a gift, right?
Yeah, it's a gift.
Well, we already said that 90 minutes for you 2 shows ago. You said that is you on a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me 90 minutes every never mind. The math just makes my head spin. All right, guys, it's Earth Angel. There's a new light in the neighborhood when Bud brings home an attractive, free-spirited 21-year-old artist named Tiffany. Oh, that's ironic. Yes, guys, that's my wife's name. On her way to art school in New York, and everyone likes her, I'd say loves her. Except Marcy. Oh, we should have asked her about Tiffany.
Yeah.
For Tiffany steals all the attention of Steve as well, which is hilarious.
Wow, man. This is, you know what? I got to tell you guys this real quick. So I hit play on the episode, and you know how I don't know what DVD set you have, Alex, but the one that me and Jerry has, the intro plays, the Al sitting on the couch. And then sometimes, like, I'll go run out and grab a drink real quick and come back. And every once in a while, like, the episode will start by the time I get back or whatever. Because I don't want to see the intro, especially if we're covering, like, 2 episodes back to back or something,
Oh, so you skip it.
Yeah, usually. But sometimes I don't. Anyway, when I got back, I had come back a little later, and the girl was already in the house. So Bud, like, brought her in. Or sometime during that point, I had left. I don't remember exactly what happened on the episode, but the point is that I missed the fact that this was I thought it was one of his friends from school or something. And that, if you think that, it completely changes the first couple minutes of this episode. I was like, already it was like very, on the edge of like what you should do. And then all of a sudden it's like in this insane territory. But I did restart the episode because I was like, this isn't right.
Oh, good.
so I missed something, but just the shock right away was pretty crazy.
Yeah. You mentioned changing the whole perspective on, like...
I can see Justin coming in and just being like, I think I'm going to go to Bud's school.
Yeah. I got to get in 7th grade again. Yeah, Could you imagine?
We open the episode and Peggy is baking a cake, and she tries to give it to Buck, and Buck won't eat it. And I'm like, Buck eats her food all the time.
Like, that cake looked dry as hell, dog.
Okay, fair enough.
That cake didn't look like a cake.
Yeah.
It didn't even have icing on it. It's like, what the hell is this?
Like, who serves a cake that's just the bread part?
Well, like, what is... Apparently,
Hi. Come on in, girl. Hi, honey. Straight into the kitchen.
Hey, there's plaster falling on my head down here! Big cadence, will you?
Don't worry. He'll be going bowling soon.
I know. He's meeting my dentist.
And my husband,
Barry?
that's it. I can never think of his name.
It's amazing what energy they have when they're leaving the house, but not for us.
You marry them, they forget you're a woman.
And that one chick buries her face into the plate like a dog.
Oh my God. Okay, I got a funny story. I'm watching the episode. She does that. I'm typing in my notes. Where is it? Because I have it written down.
Right there.
It is right there. Holy shit. I go, eats like a dog. I wrote this right before Al did his dog whistle. Like, as I'm writing, eats like a dog, Al does the dog whistle joke on her.
I thought that was just a bizarre coincidence, but it's actually not. That had, because when I wrote in my notes, she ate the cake like a dog, I'm thinking, well, they had to have thought of that. Like when Al says, hey, listen, I bought a dog whistle, so he wants to see how Buck responds to it. You know, she does her thing eating like a dog. That's why Al looks at her and then blows a whistle and goes, let me see something real quick.
That's a lot
Yeah,
of
because if
setup
not,
for
the
one
dog
joke.
whistle has no point in the episode, period.
Right.
That's a lot of work for that little joke.
Isn't that amazing? But guess what? It worked.
Yeah, it was really fun. I know we just talked about bowling in like 2 or 3 episodes ago, but I was like, I'm gonna try to break 200, and I'm sitting here like, shouldn't you be trying to break like 275, sir? Like, I know about bowling now. Alex taught me.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing too, but I couldn't remember what Alex had taught me. I think it was like, what did you say, 230 or something?
Oh, I said I averaged 222.
Yeah, so you're way better now. Step your game up, Al.
Well, you know, some guy wrote to us on YouTube. He commented on that show we did 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now, and he said, "Oh no, you're out of perspective. They changed the balls, they changed the pins, they changed everything. So back then, 170 was good." And I'm like, bro, respectively, because you know you're a cool guy, you're listening to our show. I was 11 years old and I averaged 156. So, no. 170 for a 40-year-old man, not good, dude. Watch like pro bowling at that time. They were using crap bowling balls too, and they averaged far beyond 170. That's never good. I mean, think about it. That's like saying golfing. That's like saying it's okay to be under like 10 strokes or whatever, because now the drivers are so much better and stuff. Like, no, those guys were good then. Like, you know, I don't know.
Okay, so is it if they're referring to in another episode now using the same scale, is it the joke is that Al thinks he's better than he actually is?
I think it's just the writers don't know anything about bowling, honestly.
Right, and neither does Al, so he's not going to say, hey, guys, you do realize that. I don't think Al's going to say anything. I think he's so into acting and whatever else he does in life.
That's because the only sport Ed O'Neill cares about is like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. So, like I said, Peg invites the girls over the place to give them a plain cake. Peg baked, so I guess that's something, even though she doesn't know how to ice it.
Did you notice the fat lady's face when the cake came out?
No.
Oh my God! If you watch this episode again, when she's at the fridge and the cake comes out, just look at her face.
Look at her face. Look at everything she does. She says, you marry them and they forget you're a woman, and she immediately follows that by shooting, what is that called, ready whip?
She was doing a whip it, but went on too long.
A whip it, yeah, she's doing a whip it, but the fat person's whip it. And she actually sprayed the cream into her mouth. And God, tell me, guys, did you not feel a sense of pride that even your favorite TV lowlife family mom, who is the lowest of the Bundys, I think. No offense, Peg, I love you. But you're clearly the lowest of the Bundys because you would rather see your family miserable than to have Steve cook and clean for them, or have even she couldn't go through with it. She tried to spray that crap into her mouth like an animal, and she just couldn't do it.
Wait,
I did not.
She
notice
couldn't
that.
do it. I thought she just the can.
I thought that can was empty because the other woman ate it all.
No.
You sure?
Yeah. She even said nah. Like, you could see that expression on her face. She went to go spray that into her mouth and said, I can't do this.
Huh.
Yeah. Peg showed it. She showed us something there. Oh, yeah. Watch it again. I'm telling you. This lady that Jerry's referring to, this redhead, she is a victim of probably the greatest jab in television history. She says, our husbands don't want to sleep with us anymore. Why? And Al says, oh, after she eats the food like a dog.
I can't understand it. Our husbands don't want to sleep with us anymore. Why?
Maybe he's afraid he'll wake up in your stomach.
Oh my God! All the jokes involving her are great.
How did this actress say, I'm willing to let my nieces and nephew and husband and daughter watch me on TV, on primetime television, on Fox? That's fine. Yeah, I'm totally down for this.
Maybe she thought it would be her big break. We do have to know, Peg gets it once a month.
Oh, so should we give her like 1 point now for the season every 4 episodes?
No, but
okay.
But it's important in this episode that she gets it once a month, and all the other ladies are like, we can't get it at all.
Looking at every single lady at that table, I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
I mean, who is there even a remotely attractive person at that table? Yeah, Peg.
Besides Peg, if I had to choose anyone, I'd choose the black lady.
Let's do it. Okay, black lady for you?
Black lady, yeah.
Okay. I'll go with the blonde, actually. No one's picking the redhead, right?
No. I think I would have to see him again.
Ooh, I don't think you'd want to.
I don't think I do either.
You don't, dude.
Erase that from my memory right away.
Hi, Peg. Sorry to interrupt, girls, but I'm in a hurry. Steve and I have sort of a date planned tonight. He's meeting me at a sleazy bar where he's going to pick me up. Can I borrow a cigarette? Steve just loves it when I smoke and look like trash.
Sure.
Excuse me, but if you're married, why are you going out? We're role-playing. It adds mystery and excitement to our love life.
With your husband?
How much of a love life?
Every 36 hours. Except on weekends when we catch up.
Give us some cigarettes, Peggy.
Yeah, let's go to the bowling alley and turn on our men.
So, that's what Steve and Marcy do. That's what you would get to do if you were Steve.
Yeah, you know what's
that feels
funny?
like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. But the other Ed O'Neill family sitcom, Modern Family, they actually do this same bit.
Why would Sophia Viagra have to do anything?
No, not her, not Ed O'Neill and Sophia, but the actual main characters of the show, the Dumfies, the parents, them.
They do that?
Yeah, they do that, and you actually see them play it out and everything. And they do it a couple of different times in the show.
Do they know that they stole the joke, or?
Yeah, right?
I mean, Ed O'Neill's on the show. I assume he has to know about it.
Yeah, he was probably like, whoa, what are we doing here?
I just assumed it was a nice little throwback to Married with Children.
I'm sure there's plenty. Unfortunately, I'll go on record as saying I'm so sorry, and I hope nobody tells him this before we try to get him on our show, but I can't watch Modern Family. It's not that, the reason is because they focus on like 4 different families. So by the time I get to the people I want to get to, I'm already like tortured here.
Yeah, I love the show. I
might have to check it out, honestly.
That one and the Goldbergs, which, Alex, I think you might like the Goldbergs because it's got a lot of 80s throwbacks to it.
Oh, okay.
So you might like it. Plus, the dad reminds me a little bit of season 1 Al, where he's just grumpy.
Right.
Except they have money. Not tons of money,
I
but...
can't relate to that. So these women all are jealous that Marcy gets it every 36 hours, just like Justin gives it.
Mm-hmm.
They all steal Peg cigarettes and head to the bowling alley, thinking that if they all start smoking, like, great logic, guys. If you all start smoking, looking like trash, then all your husbands are bound to want to just throw you up against the wall.
How did they not know that it works for Marcy to downgrade herself to trash because she's normally not trash? They are trash. They can't downgrade themselves to more trash.
Yeah, so their husbands look at them and they say, oh, well, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
You like that, don't you, Jerry? And I heard you steal my Tuesday joke one time somewhere. But, okay.
I steal about everything you do.
Ah, it's okay, as long as you make it better.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince Reese to change her name to Tiffany.
I think every chick would want to change her name to Tiffany after this episode.
I know when I saw it, I'm Tiffany, and I'm like, and you're what I'll be having for breakfast.
Oh, yeah. Sunny side up, baby. So they storm the bowling alley and basically drive the men out on league night, Thursday night's league night. And so Al doesn't get to break 200. He was chased out of the bowling alley, all because of Marcy's influence. We cut to I guess that night, I don't remember, but Bud brings, he comes in the house alone.
It is the same night because Al's still wearing the bowling shirt.
Dad! Remember how you always say it's important to do nice things for other people?
I never say that, son.
Then it must have been you, Mom.
No, I don't think it was me.
Must have been Cosby then.
And then even better, the like, that's already the joke, and then it gets slammed dunk by saying, oh, must have been the Cosbys.
Yeah, because the show was supposed to be called, like Marcy alluded to when we interviewed her, the show was going to be called Not the Cosbys.
That's crazy.
And what's funny, if you go back and listen to our first episode, we talked about how like they obviously were trying to be the anti-Cosbys. They didn't want to go that route. And now we have hardcore proof that they knew that.
Oh, yeah. Peg thinks it's going to be some, 12-year-old, disheveled-looking girl. So she's like, Bud, yes, of course she could stay here tonight. And Tiffany walks in.
Bum, ba-da-bum, bum.
Justin, I want to know from you. Because I guess you too, Jerry, because you're not, weird like me. I knew who was walking in that door. Now... When no, you know what, Justin, you're messed up because you already told me. How
Yeah.
Okay, Jerry, what did you think when Tiffany walked through that door?
I didn't know where the joke was gonna go because I was like, does this get really bad or really good? Like, what chick was convinced by Bud to stay at his house?
Yeah, what is she, an airhead?
Yeah, what's going on here? Is she just absolutely clueless? Is she a drug addict? I was like, is this going to be like a drug addict? That's what I originally thought, is that this was going to be a drug addict thing. And then Tiffany walks in, and I'm just like, oh, Lord, this is going to be good. This is going to be a whole episode based off Poppies by the Tree, but just that one scene where the chick comes in and Peg gives her shit.
Yeah.
But now it's going to be a whole episode of this. And I was like, this should be good because Al was pretty funny.
Dude, can I not say out loud, this is Al Bundy's greatest performance thus far.
Anyhow, me and my friends were down in the park heckling some bums. And I met this girl. And she has no place to stay, so I invited her here. Is that okay?
No.
Al, the girl has no place to stay. And I'm sure after one night with you, it'll send her screaming back to her parents. Of course she can stay.
Thanks, Mom. She's right outside. I'll go tell her.
Just until we find her parents. Oh, this is great. I barely want my own. Now I got another runny-nosed little...
Mom, Dad, this is Tiffany.
Welcome home, Tiff.
Al, this is not what I expected.
Peg, this is not a present for you. It's for Dad. From his little boy. Tiffany, come in. Relax. Sit down. You want anything? Like coffee, water?
An old man drooling on you?
This is Peg. This is probably the last time you'll see her. Peg, this must be boring you, but take your mom to the movies.
Let her go by herself, Dad. I found her.
So, Tiffany, tell us a little something about yourself.
What Peg means is, where are you from? What are your plans? When did you stop wearing a bra?
I can't believe you say that, man. I would never say that to somebody that I just
You wouldn't
met.
say it in front of you. Number one, you wouldn't say it to somebody, period, but you would never say it in front of your wife.
Yeah, and Al's even like sniffing her sweater in like the next scene. Like, honestly, I was like, all right, Al,
honestly,
you're getting
dude,
a little creepy.
I honestly, I feel like this episode, it was kind of cringy at times.
Yeah?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I
It
thought
was
it was
like
a bit
I
creepy.
felt like uncomfortable. I was like, oh, geez, like, and I know that, like, let me phrase it correctly, like, not in the terms of like where I was like, oh, this is bad or anything like that, but like every time like he said something, like I would cringe, like that his wife was gonna smack him with a frying pan or something. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm from San Francisco, and I'm on my way to New York to go to art school. And I don't like bras. They're too constricting, don't you think?
Get out.
Peg, she's got no place to go. Bud, get some sheets and a blanket for the couch so your mother will be comfortable. No, I meant so Tiffany can be comfortable. It's so easy to get you two confused.
Al is on another level. I mean, is that not apparently clear here? He is just whatever is going on in his pants up to his brain is coming out of his mouth. Like, there is no filter. He doesn't care that he's married at this point. He has fallen so far from the grace of hanging out in Luke's apartment with those two stewardesses.
I was going to actually ask you, Alex, how did you feel with the contrast of this compared to going back to that episode?
I gotta be honest, I love this even more. The things I loved about... God, I wish I remember the name of that episode. I just don't. But, yeah, we all know what we're talking about here. The one where Al was hanging out in Luke's apartment and the two stewardesses and stuff. That was just amazing. And I think the things I loved about it was where he's like, do you have a picture of yourself?
It's Al loses his cherry.
Oh, wow, you're amazing. Thank you. I liked the where Al like got right to the edge but didn't go over. But it seems like, you know what's the difference, Jerry? It's that Al was alone, so there's no safety net. I think with Peg being there, there's almost that subconscious thing where, well, I'm here, I'm in my house, and my wife's right here, so I'm going to go as far as I can, and maybe my wife will get my sadistic humor here or whatever, you know, like, or either way, there's a different dynamic about Peg being there and hearing all this. I don't think Al would go as far if he was alone and the situation could actually play out to fruition. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you got to really think about it for a second. Go ahead, just pause our show and think about that.
Yeah, and it ends up, as much as Peggy is hating this, it ends up working out pretty well for her, because as soon as Tiffany comes down in that nightgown and crosses her legs, Al is like, let's go upstairs, Peggy.
Can you teach Peg to do that?
I don't think she'll have time, Al. She's leaving tomorrow, early. Well, I'm going up to bed. I don't suppose you'd want to join me.
Yeah.
Yes?
Oh, yeah. Now. Right now.
Stay.
You want to come back up?
Forever.
Coming out!
So point for Peg, right?
3 points, actually.
Actually, I have an
Jesus.
argue for 4.
4. Jesus.
Do you want me to
Christ.
do it now, or do you want me to wait till we get to it?
We can get to it.
Okay, because I've got all the points written down as they go.
Well, how about... Yeah, okay, good. We'll do it that way. In order. So, yeah, Peg hates to see anybody happy, it seems. Until Jerry, like he said, it works out. Like when Steve was living there and everybody was eating and the house was clean, like I said. Peg hates that. She hates it when Al's thrilled because of another chick. We get to a point where, like Jerry said, Al realizes, I actually love sex.
Yeah, he just loves sex thinking about someone else. Because, he goes to bed, point to Peggy, and then literally the next scene is Peg getting another point.
Now, are you trying to say that?
But does each time they have sex count? Or is it each time Peg gets him to have sex?
We decided in the...
I think Al gets the points here.
No, Alex, you're the one who shot this down in season 1. We've had this argument. And you said if they have sex, Peg gets a point. If they do not have sex, whether it's someone interrupting or like if they don't have sex, it's Al. If they have sex, it's Peggy. No matter what.
Because Peg ultimately wants it and Al ultimately doesn't.
Exactly. So even when Al does want it, there's usually some kind of ulterior motive. He never has sex with Peggy because he wants to just have sex. He wants to make love to Peggy. It's, I gotta have sex so I can watch the fight. I want to have sex because I was just with this blonde, which it is always with a blonde. What, man? I just realized that Al really likes blondes.
Well, that's the classic,
yeah, I guess that's true.
Oh, wait. When Al met his fake boss, Gary, Gary said, the next blonde I bed down will be for you. And he goes, they make life worth living, don't they? And Al goes, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly. So
he really does. You're right.
Yeah. So for this episode, when I was digging out points, what I decided was, if the scene alludes to them having sex clearly, whether it's because a lot of times they go to bed and have sex, we don't always see the scene start with them coming out of sex. But in this episode, we do. And that's why I said there's 4 points. Because there's 4 points. I'm giving 4 points.
Oh, because Al says you want to come back up here.
Yes.
So that's the 4th one. Okay. Yeah.
Well, there's also one where later on that I feel like I need to explain, but maybe y'all are with it. But this scene ends with him going upstairs to the point, and then the next scene starts with another point for Peggy coming down, and Al going, do you want to come back up here? He goes up, clearly another point.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's 4 then, yeah.
Yeah, so the 4th one.
But one question.
Yeah.
Isn't it technically this like the same instance still, or does it just because it's a second time it counts?
Yeah, if Al finishes and restarts, that's another point.
Justin, if you've ever had sex multiple times in one night, you don't go, yeah, we had sex all night. You go, oh, dude, we went like 3, 4, 5 rounds. I was killing it.
Yeah.
That's just that's how I look at it, because as guys, we can't just, most guys need a little bit of time to restart and reboot.
A little bit.
And
I need like an hour or two.
An hour or two. That's a while, man.
That's a while. Like, I mean, when I was younger, I like 5 minutes and I'm back in. Now, I probably need like a good 20, 30 minutes, but not an hour.
Dude, I have never been that guy.
Alex is the guy that as soon as he shoots, he all of a sudden he's like, don't touch me. I need to go to another room.
I remember when I was a kid and I used to have VHS tapes of smut.
Yeah.
I remember once I was done, I just took the tape out and I was like, oh, this is disgusting. I threw it in the corner.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't want nothing to do with this stuff.
But then 5 minutes later, it was like, I wonder what else is on this tape.
Yeah, what's after this session? No, like, I literally, something's weird about me. My mind is done with it. Sex is a weird thing to me. Like, once that whole thing goes down, I'm good for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing that's not... See, being that type of guy, it's amazing to me that you all don't think that. I think you're crazy. I think all of you are crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks I'm crazy, though, because they're like, what do you mean? What's 10 minutes later, man, we're all up for another session. I'm like, really?
Well, I think it depends, too, though, because, like, it just depends, like, what I feel like, right? Like, if I'm in that mode where, like, I have a bunch of energy and stuff, like one, it's exhausting, right? Like, if you go hard, like, it's exhausting. So, like, I understand that. Like, I don't want anything to do. But if it was just, like, a quick thing, like, I could be ready again in, like, literally 3 minutes, probably.
Well, I when I was younger, I could, like, 5 minutes, I'm ready to go again. Now, I've got to have, like, at least 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you on that, too. It's dependent on the situation. Like, if it's a new girl that I just got with that I had never seen before, that I've never been with before, then, like, I'm hyped on it.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, if it's the same girl, then I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, they've been with for 4 years. You're like, I'm good.
Alex, okay, so how about, like, when you first get into it with a chick, like, even then, like, one time and you're good for the day, even if it was, like, a new chick?
Well, I did that more to, like, show off or to impress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I probably did do things like that, but in reality, I could have just watched TV the rest of the night, and I would have been okay with that. But, like, there are times, like, there are those weird weekends where, 3 times in a weekend that might happen. But it's so rare, it's not worth mentioning.
Is it possible for you to continue in one session and make it into 2 sessions?
Absolutely not. No. There's no reason. I think it's like, it's weird analogy, but it's like doing drugs. Like, if I were a drug addict and I needed it, if I shot heroin, I don't need to shoot it again in 5 minutes.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
I know. I guess you do.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, because I know a lot of people who smoke weed waste so much weed because they get high and then continue to smoke, and I'm just like,
that's a little different.
You're just wasting weed at this point because you want to show off.
Right.
Hey, Al! What's going on? I get home to all these cars parked on my lawn.
Didn't you get my note?
The one about $5 to work in your yard? I was going to rush right over, but I got held up tossing quarters down the sewer.
Actually, Steve, there's something upstairs you got to see. Now, to the general public, it's a $5 charge, but since you're a friend and we accidentally chopped down your willow tree, this is a freebie. Oh, Tiffany!
Yes, Mr. Bundy?
Tiffany, dear, come meet our neighbor. He lost a tree but gained a view. Tiffany? Steve? View.
Nice to meet you.
Gobble-doo, me.
Gee, you're cool, Steve. Anyhow, let me give you a price list. Now, on Thursdays, she does aerobics, that's $10. On Friday, she sunbathes, and she does some jogging. That's our combo platter. That's $15. But being you live right next door, you might want to go for the weekly rate. That's $50. But with that, you get popcorn and a free lottery ticket.
I can't believe you, Al. This is truly low.
So you in?
Maybe.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you pay, in today's time, $10, $11 to watch that chick in the yard?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I will go to Target and watch chicks in yoga pants walk around all day for free.
Dude, you're missing the essence of life, Jerry. There's something special about this.
About paying $11?
Yeah. There's something about getting together with the guys, hanging out in Al's. I'd pay $11 just to hang out with Al Bundy.
It's true. But if he wasn't Al Bundy, like if he was your neighbor.
Like if he was a regular guy like he is to those people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like would you pay $11 to hang out with Justin?
I would do it just as a goof, honestly. Like if I would go along with this. And I'd be like, okay, dude. Yeah, here's...
Like $11 seems like a lot. Like if it's $5.
I don't know. If I was Steve, I would be like, how come you call me over for free for the chick who fixes your refrigerator, but now I got to pay?
Wow. Well, Tiffany is another level, I think, honestly.
Well, yeah, but we're not talking about your wife.
Thank you. But
you're welcome. Yeah, okay.
And oddly enough, I met my wife at 21. That's when we started dating. So that's exactly Tiffany's age here. God, I wish I realized that 7 years ago.
How much more evidence are we going to find as we go through Married with Children that links up to Alex's life?
Too many. Trust me. That's why we're doing this. This is no mistake.
For real. I do like all the guys going back to their wife and you know which one has the fat one because he goes, she'll probably still be in bed. I'll just pretend the crumbs are sand and I'll think we're at the beach.
Oh my God.
That's when you know your life is in turmoil.
I was just like, okay, I know which wife is his.
Jerry, don't ruin this. Justin.
Okay.
Do you notice any of those guys? They look familiar to you?
Was one of them in the card game episode?
Possibly, but that's not where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Think of horror. Come on. You have probably seen this movie 50 times.
Really?
We've talked about it before on the show, Justin.
Yeah, we did talk about it.
Is it Friday 2 or 3 or something?
Yes!
You know what? Like, subconsciously, I think I noticed that when watching it. The guy looked too familiar.
It's Harold, the guy who was hanging up his clothes on the laundry line in Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yeah.
Yep, he's one of Al's neighbors, Harold.
That's awesome.
And I made up the greatest meme of that ever.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was really funny.
That's like one of the jokes that God just hands to you. Because I'm not like hilariously funny or anything. So when I get something like that and I put it together and it makes something amazing, I am so thankful. So I made a meme. You know, guys, that's a picture with words on it. It was Harold from Friday the 13th Part 3, just him on the top, a picture of him, saying, Jason's not such a bad guy. He did kill my wife. You know, because everybody wants to, that's just like a joke. You want Jason to kill your wife, then you could be happy forever. And then the second picture is underneath that one, and it's Al Bundy talking to that same guy since he's in that movie. And he says, can you bring him to Chicago? I don't know. You had to be there. I don't know.
I think you got to see the picture.
You have to see it and know both things to really get it. But.
And I think you did post it in the group when we did the poker game episode.
Yeah. Oh, so he was in that. Okay. Yeah, I probably explained this exact thing at that show.
Sorry, I just remembered now, since you're my neighbor, you might want to do the $50 a week. Comes with popcorn and a lottery ticket.
Oh, God.
And I was just like, a lottery? This, to me, is the best scene in this episode. From Steve
sure it is.
Trying to talk like French to her, and he messes up, and it sounds like he says, goblin do me.
Goblin do me. And then Al goes, you're cool, Steve.
Yeah, and then him, like, whispering in... Al just whispering in Steve's ear. It's just, oh my.
Oh, the best part was when Steve is sitting there talking about the artist books with her, and then he goes, isn't that great, Al? She likes, Picasso or whatever. And then Al goes, well, look at her legs, Steve.
Yes. Like, one, that's really creepy, but two, that was hilarious. This was the only scene in the episode that actually made me laugh.
Oh, the only one.
The rest of the stuff with Tiffany actually came off kind of creepy to me, and I wasn't really laughing.
Really? Even though you love Al?
Yeah, Justin, did you laugh more or cringe more in this episode?
Cringe more.
Yes,
Really?
same here. And here's the thing, and I think it's because me and Justin did not see this episode as a kid. Alex, you saw it as a kid because I thought about it. And if I saw this as a kid, I would love this episode. Oh my God, would I love this episode. But now as an adult, I was a little bit more cringing over it.
So you were cringing too then. It wasn't just me.
No, that's what I was saying. Like I said earlier, Al was really creepy in this episode. And there were times where I was using the word creep me. I was saying it was creeping me out more than using the word cringy. But yeah, you're right. It is very cringy. And it just...
Wow. I thought this was on the floor laughing. Funny.
No, just this scene is what made me laugh the most because after this scene, I think the episode starts going a little downhill for me.
Oh, not at all. Okay, hold on. Okay. So you're trying to say that my perspective from 11 to now is warping me into thinking that this is perfectly fine, insanely funny humor, but if I was only to watch this as a realistic, normal guy, that I'd be like just face-palming this whole thing because, Al, what are you doing in front of your wife?
Because that's too extreme.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I will say, I do think your nostalgia for the series a lot of times will cloud you from seeing stuff that, say, Justin sees because Justin has brand new eyes for it. And that's one of the great dynamics of this show. But at the same time, you are very Al Bundy, and you a lot of times do see things in a way Al Bundy does, just like I see things sometimes in the way a Steve does, and that's why we disagree on a lot of things. And maybe if the chick would have started talking about like Godzilla, I would have ended up like Steve and just been on board, and you would have creeped over and been like, "Look at her legs, Jerry."
I would say that.
But
wow, Al is my deviant side. I gotta say, like, this whole thing he was doing, it's me, man. And
yeah,
I wouldn't, because we're living real life, I wouldn't do it. But God, if there were no consequences,
I definitely would think this stuff. Like, I'd be like, "Oh, look at her legs," like in my head. But to see, I'm like, "Yo, bro, you're gonna catch yourself a sexual harassment charge or something." You know what I mean? That's where the cringe comes from.
For Alex, it's worse. His wife is Latina. He's gonna get stabbed. He's gonna get his throat cut. We ain't never gonna hear from him again. Or Tiffany.
Yeah, my real life Tiffany is gonna kill me.
Yeah, like. So maybe that's why you live a little bit more in this. But I do think your nostalgia for the show and how closely you are to Al makes an episode like this.
I just coast right through it.
Yes, it really shines to you as where like me looking at it from a Steve point of view or Justin looking at it with brand new eyes. We're like, no, this is a little bit cringy. Like, I'll be interested to see how my rating and Justin ratings go in comparison to you.
I could tell you already from what you guys are hinting to me, it's going to be vastly different.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I guess for now, let's get back into the episode since we took this huge but very interesting detour and learned a lot about Alex.
Yeah. Wow, this guy is not who we thought he was.
Yeah.
Hello? No, Steve, this is not Tiffany. This is your wife. And let me tell... Hello?
With Marcy getting blown up is actually where we get our third point and fourth point. So the scene before this with Steve was in the middle of the day or a late afternoon. The sun was still out. And we found out that she does her workouts on Thursday, according to Al's book. So we know that when Al had sex with Peggy that night, which is clearly shown, that's our third point. Now, the next morning is Friday morning. We have it right here where they clearly indicate they had sex this morning, because, oh, sorry I was late. We were taking care of something. Obviously indicating that they had sex that morning also, which is why I'm calling it as a fourth point, because it is a scene where before the scene started, they clearly indicated that sex was had.
That's why you're here, Jerry, for this 3 seconds.
I'm the sex judge here, and I'm calling 4 points.
Okay. So, Steve blew Marcy off during their newest role-playing fiasco. Marcy hung out in a bar for hours with a cigarette, knocking back drinks with Bluto because Steve never showed up. Now, how awesome is Steve that he became completely infatuated with Tiffany on a level where he can't even sort of live his normal life. Like, he's meeting his wife to do this thing, and think of the significance in the terms. Okay, oh wow, think of this. The juxtaposition between all of the guys who have wives that they don't want to have sex with anymore are constantly having sex with their wives, whether it be Al looking at Tiffany's leg, running upstairs with Peg. Then you got the guys working in the backyard. I'm going to go call my wife, see what she's doing. Oh, yeah, it's probably like, I'll imagine, the breadcrumbs are sand. So now all the guys are having sex with their unappealing wives. Steve, who's way into his wife, even to the point where they're going to spice it up and pretend they're other people in bars and blah, blah, blah. He has the opposite reaction where he lost interest in his wife and actually having sex. And Marcy even says he hasn't climbed anything since you came in town. So Steve had an opposite reaction.
Well, like, Steve's, like, trying to date this girl. Like, everybody else is, like, using her as, like, testosterone booster.
Right. Like, how thought out for just what's supposed to be a dumb show. and added such dynamics to this.
And I've got something to add to that, Alex. If you go back and watch the episode, pay attention to the lighting of the living room. Because before she shows up, it's standard and dark, kind of dingy like it always is. As soon as she shows up, the living room is way better lit, all the way up until Al comes home from work at the end of the episode when she's gone, and it goes back.
I noticed that it looked way darker
on the outside, but I didn't notice on the inside.
No, I noticed it even on the inside, and it is harder to notice because it is a lot slighter. And I actually didn't notice it until the end, and I went back and checked a few scenes, and it is clearly brighter in the living room.
That's a good
when she's there.
Technique, man.
Yeah. Like, it's not just the obvious, oh, the birds aren't chirping, something looks different, something smells different.
And you do hear birds chirping.
Yes, they actually, like, set it up. So not only do they do the whole Steve not stepping up to bat for his wife, like, it's in the set. Like, they went hardcore with this episode. It's something I actually really respect for this episode is the writing and the making of this episode, even if I didn't laugh that much.
That pains me. I hate hearing you talk like this. But I knew we'd come to this point, guys. It's 4 shows in?
Yeah.
Or 5 at this point. And I knew this would happen. That we'd come to the point where I think something's amazing and you don't, or you do and I don't. It's just so sad it came so soon. I mean, we have 262, and by show 25, we're here. Oh, boy, this is going to be tough at the end of the show. Okay. So, Marcy pops in saying, wow, what the hell's going on? This Tiffany thing. And Marcy has never laid eyes on her, which is awesome because when she does, look at the look on her face. Oh, yeah, by the way, a quick side note. Look at the look on Marcy's face if you go back and watch this. Look at her reaction to Al. When she rings the doorbell in the beginning of the episode and Al goes, You know, after he whistled the dog thing, after the girl, fat redhead, responded to it. And then the doorbell rings and Marcy's there. He goes, oh, it brings them from all over.
Yeah, I gotta say, maybe it's in comparison with the other ladies in the beginning, but Marcy was actually looking pretty smoking in that dress.
She looked really good.
Yeah.
Hello? No, Steve, this is not Tiffany. This is your wife. And let me tell... Hello?
What the hell?
I'm kind of glad we did not get an interaction between Steve and Marcy face to face in this episode, because I don't think it would have worked.
This is 100 times funnier. He's calling there.
This was way better because I thought about it and I was like, would this whole thing would have worked had Steve shown up? Hey, is Tiffany here? And then Marcy's like, no.
Yeah, and then he closes the door.
Like, there would have had to been a continuing argument there. And this was much better.
How about this? Is Steve really a pig? Because he is willing to just talk to her sight unseen.
He only got into it when he found out that she knew a lot about art. So maybe he really does appreciate the brain. I mean, I appreciate getting some brain, but he really appreciates the brain.
Does Tiffany have one?
She knows all that art shit.
Well, I think that, like, you know, obviously he enjoys art and weird stuff, but whenever you couple that with an amazing, attractive person, that's when he can be a little blinded by, like, maybe the intelligence and just be super psyched that, wow, a smoking hot girl knows these weird names that I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be like if somebody walked in and was like, knock out like 10 out of 10 dime piece, and they had like a binder full of like Friday 13th DVDs or something. You know what I mean?
You know, actually, when I first met Reese and started talking to her and found out that she liked Godzilla, she liked Mystery Science Theater, she liked old black and white horror movies, I was like, this broad is way out of my league, even if we do have the same interest.
You should never think anybody's out of your league.
We're talking to Jerry.
Oh, yeah. You should think everybody's out of your league.
And I do.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Rhodes. Gee, you're looking haggard. Isn't this nice? The birds are singing. The whole neighborhood smells of bacon. And you know, everybody says that the clouds look especially fluffy. Here are your messages, Kel. Thank you. Craig called, saw Tiffany, please call immediately. Dawn, ditto. Cliff. Ooh, Cliff. Kel, you're forgetting something. You are one heck of a little brother.
Okay, so Bud is guys, am I a loser? But I love episodes where Kelly and Bud get along. I don't know why.
I know. I kind of like that too. I do.
I really love it.
Did it strike anyone? Did anyone even notice that Kelly wasn't in this episode until she showed up? Like, at any point did you go, hey, I haven't seen Kelly at all this episode?
No, I don't do that. I live the moment. I don't really think about things like that. Yeah,
I didn't think about it until Kelly showed up, and then I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Kelly hasn't been in this episode at all yet.
Nope. And just like when you realize Buck wasn't there 2 episodes ago or whatever, I would never realize the family dog.
Is it weird that I noticed those things?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep doing it.
Hey, listen, like I said, anything we got to throw at this speaker here.
Okay, I got chlamydia.
Yo.
So it turns out, now Kelly, are we still counting Kelly's boyfriends? Did we drop that this year?
We dropped that because she's got too many. She doesn't name them all. It's hard to go. Boy 2 from season 2, episode 6.
All right, well, I want to get back into it because she is racking them up here. And like I said, the more guys that she dates, the more I realize I could have been one. So
it's true.
Craig Don, and our buddy Don, who is on our Married with Children Facebook group, he'll be thrilled to hear that he's one of the guys.
Craig called, saw Tiffany, please call immediately. Dawn, ditto. Cliff. Ooh, Cliff.
Is Kelly the kind of girl that you need to look at Tiffany to gain interest in?
I was actually gonna say, I was trying to figure out this joke because Kelly, hands down.
Yeah, so it's like, why are Craig, Don, and we have to have Don answer this question first. Why did he leave a message?
Here's my theory.
She's older.
Well, I wasn't going. I was just gonna say, teenage boys see a hot chick and knows he can't get that, so they call the easy chick that they do know.
Oh, maybe you're right.
You think? I don't think that's what it is.
What's your theory?
I just think that they know Kelly and they know that it seems like Kelly's pretty easy. And then there's this new chick. She's just new. You know what I mean?
Alex, am I wrong, or did JP just basically just say what I said?
No. Well,
oh, was that what you were saying?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying it the other way, that this Tiffany's easy. So
No. They saw Tiffany and decided to call the easy chick that they know, which is Kelly. Okay, so we're all on the same page.
Okay. I thought you were saying it the other way. My bad. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Right. Yep. So that's an interesting dynamic as well. Even so, there's the opposite of Steve, the girl he was interested in to begin with. He no longer does once Tiffany comes around. But the teenage kids are interested in Kelly, clearly, and even more interested once they see Tiffany.
Yeah,
so
who keeps money in their sleeve?
Kelly.
I thought that was odd. I've seen them keep it in their bra, but I've never seen them keep it in their sleeve.
Yeah, she pays Bud and says, "You're one heck of a little brother," because he took all those messages, and Kelly is going to have a wild week or weekend.
Jesus.
So it's Marcy versus Tiffany now. Marcy, Tiffany comes in the house.
Hi, how are you? Gee, isn't it a pretty day?
All right, Blondie. Let's get right to the point. I want you to stop talking Modigliani with my husband.
You must be married to Steve, the banker mountain climber.
He hasn't climbed anything since you hit this berg. But I'm probably boring you with my petty little problems.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, then let's talk about you.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. It's just that I hate to see you, a budding young artist, wasting your life. You should be in New York, that cultural mecca, studying to be the great artist you could be. Is this one of your sketches, dear?
Yes, it is.
It's lovely. I'm sorry. It's just that when I see art this good, I get kind of choked up.
You really think I'm that good?
I've seen the sun come up over a garden hose before. But now that I've seen it through your eyes, I truly understand.
The hose represents man's state in the universe.
Tiffany, go. You must share your vision with all of New York.
You're right. I'll go. I'll tell Peg and Al tonight.
No. Don't tell them. Just go. A clean break is best. There's a prepaid ticket waiting for you at O'Hare. My treat.
Thank you, Mrs. Rhodes.
Yeah. Pack.
Oh, okay.
They have an exchange that is one for the ages.
Is it, though?
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't think it was that impressive. I didn't think her laughing at the bad art while still trying to convince her was that funny.
Really?
I thought this kind of fell flat. Justin, what did you...
I agree, dude. I think that I was like, and this goes for the whole resolution of the episode, thought it was kind of weak.
Yeah, the funniest joke out of the Marcy and her talking to her is that Marcy bought her a ticket. That and even that's kind of like, oh, okay, that was funny. But I wouldn't laugh.
Wow. You didn't like that, huh?
No.
I feel like that it's kind of a cheap way to end it, right? Like that she just paid this girl off, essentially. You know what I mean? Like it's not like Steve realized he was wrong, or Marcy realized she can be beautiful too, or something. It's like, nope, I just got rid of the chick. Like that's the end of it.
And I will say, I don't see another I do think the way they ended this episode is about the only way they could.
Well, because it's the only way they set it. They set it up to end that way because they didn't involve Steve more. They didn't involve that dynamic more. They just kind of pushed it this way.
Most of the other ways that they could have ended this episode would have been like the end of the episode where Peggy and the kids try to jump off the building. It would have left effects in the next episode, and they just can't do that. So this is the cheaper, easier, clean way out, and it just left me going, okay.
Wow.
I mean, you could have done it multiple ways, though. You could have made it to where she became really annoying or something, and then like everybody's like, oh, that, or like maybe she started stealing things or something. There's a million different ways you could have ended it.
Or even,
I just thought that they ended it kind of cheaply by just literally erasing her by just sending her off.
Or even it would have been funnier if Al and Peggy would have came. Like they set up that Al might come back for lunch. Maybe he didn't even make it to lunch, and he grabbed Peg, went back home as Tiffany's leaving, and they're like, where are you going? And she's like, oh, well, Miss Rhodes convinced me that I need to leave. I need to go and get on with my dream of being an artist. And Al could have screamed no, and Peggy could have been mad at Marcy. Like, I agreed with Justin. There were better ways to end this episode.
Wow. I'll just say right off the bat, perspective is everything.
I'll be very interested to see what the listeners think.
So Alex, you think that they ended this great?
How did you I got so sad when Peggy was just sitting there begging Al. I was not. It wasn't even funny to me. It was sad.
No, I actually liked that part. Honestly, I thought that part was fine. I'm just saying the way they got rid of the Tiffany problem, I just thought it was kind of cheap. It's she just manipulated her into going away. It felt cheap for the character of Marcy too, is what I'm saying. Marcy, who we know is this strong, independent woman who believes in all these things like love and loyalty and honor and stuff. Well, it's basically suggesting that had she still been there, then Steve would have still been obsessed with her. That's what I don't like about it.
She had no way to get Steve to stop drooling other than make her disappear.
If Tiffany's still there, then Steve is still obsessed with her. And I don't like to think that. That seems like it cheapens their relationship a little bit for me.
Wow. I guess I can't disagree. But wow. It's like
the old saying that I always go with, I'm not going to force my girlfriend not to cheat on me. If she's going to do it, then she's gonna do it. If she's not cheating on me just because I'm stopping her, then she's already cheated on me, essentially. You know what I mean?
I agree with Justin, because I've always believed that all these people that go way out of their way, checking phones and keeping up with them constantly, are doing more to push towards cheating. And I just believe if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. And either it was a mistake because they got drunk somewhere and made a bad choice, or there was something wrong with the relationship, and were there signs that I didn't notice? Did she say something to me and I blew it off? Or did she say nothing and did it?
She's just a cheater pumpkin eater.
Yeah, there's different elements to cheating. I'm not one of those people that think that cheating is the ultimate end all of a relationship. I think you have to look at it more closely and see, because we're humans. We all make mistakes. Let's look at it. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. And judge from there. But at the same time, I can't blame Marcy for what she did at the end of this episode, because it wasn't just that she was worried about him not having sex with her, so he might end up having sex with Tiffany. She also saw a threat to her relationship, and she went for it. I get that. I might not agree with it, and I do think it is a cheap shot at Marcy's character, but we've had cheap shots at Marcy's character before, at the end of the Beard episode that we just did, Razor's Edge.
But
she
no, that
took the
is
chip
Marcy,
away.
though. That is
Well,
Marcy.
she still took Peggy's advice on what to do, and I still feel like it was cheap because it's not like the resolution of A Nightmare on Owl Street where she took the Marcy honorable way that she always provides and confessed. So those are my two ranges, and for this one, I lump it, and I lump it with Justin. That's a cheap character, even if he doesn't agree that the lingerie under the undercoat was a cheap shot at our character. But I think realistically, at some point, you're gonna take a cheap shot at yourself to get what you want if you want it desperately
I just feel like
enough.
if you do take that cheap shot, it needs to be in a bigger way than just like this like little sidestep of an episode where it's like you just have this situation. It just feels kind of throwaway for a character too. I don't know, man. It just, I'm not saying that it killed the episode because I actually like this episode. I do think that I think that me and Jerry are playing devil's advocate a little bit because we see how high Alex is on it, and we were lower than that. But at the end of the day, like, I do like this episode, but I'm analyzing the end scene to the maximum effect is what's happening right now.
I guess that could. Your new eyes are more. You have more impact or whatever. Like, it's so important to have your point of view.
Oh, thank you. Or are you talking about Jerry? No, of course not.
He has the middle of the road eyes. It doesn't count. He has Steve's eyes. So it doesn't count. No, I'm just kidding. No, but you're. I don't know what to say. I'm like at a loss for words. So I'll just try to. I'll try to defend whatever I'm going to say in my wrap up. I'm not going to like keep staying on this one topic. But
I wanted to bring up, and this is not related to any of that, but isn't it a sitcom staple to end the show where it's a still picture of the house and then one of the the outside house and then one of the characters yelling? Like, I don't know who started that.
You see that a lot. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know who started that, but at the end of the episode, you see a picture of the house from outside where it's really dark.
And she goes, "Ow!"
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how the outside of the house, like, quality of picture is always like doesn't always look way worse than on the inside?
Yeah, that quality. The picture outside was terrible. I was so grainy.
Well, like we said, sort of, Marcy sends Tiffany on her way to New York to pursue a career that Marcy made her think she's capable of. Al comes home, and the birds aren't chirping, the sun isn't as shiny, the clouds aren't as fluffy.
That was a nice touch. I did like all that.
That is amazing. It really, God. And the house is dimly lit. Outside is dimly lit, all compared to the middle of the episode. Like Jerry said, it's just such a well done episode. And everyone is at the height already of their characters. It's just amazing to me. But Al is just not feeling it anymore. And he's like, no, not yet, when Peg has to go upstairs, and he's just wondering what's that thing that's missing, and he goes, where's Tiffany? And then she goes, she left, and then she finally breaks down and says, she's gone, Al, she's gone forever. Al's reaction to that is so much more than a reaction. He has no reaction.
Mm-hmm.
It's very subtle.
Yeah, he says nothing about it. I mean, subtle. He has no reaction. He literally just reverts back to who he was before she walked in the door.
He probably knew that it was like a means to an end.
Oh yeah, he knew this would not last forever, and he didn't expect this day to come so quickly, and it did. And he's just, wow, I just don't believe I'm sitting here, and I'm okay. I guess this is my life now. And he just goes and does his thing. And so I just want to say real quick before we get to our reviews that Marcy blew me away by how she had such a huge impact on this episode with merely 2 scenes. One, she shows up in the beginning dressed like she was, smoking a cigarette like trash. and has the entire insanely hideous wife club running to the bowling alley, which drives Al out of it, and is a whole, the kickstart of the show. And she does not show up again till the very end, where she completely impacts the entire life of everybody who's happy right now by sending this girl off on her way. So, in 2 scenes, she had such a major impact. All right, guys, so we'll be right back to wrap this up.
No Ma'am will be right back to wrap up this week's review. Be sure to join their Facebook group page for all the podcast news and updates. Just type in www.facebook.com/groups/Married with Children podcast. Be sure to subscribe to them on iTunes and please leave a review telling them what you think of the show. To subscribe to their YouTube channel, just go to channels and search up Married with Children podcast. You can email them at marriedwchildrenpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for checking out this review. Now the guys are going to give their final thoughts and ratings of this week's episode.
Wow. All right, guys. Yes, join our Facebook, rate us on iTunes, all that good stuff, guys. Come on, let's have the show grow. All right, guys, let's rate this episode, Earth Angel. All right, Justin, out of 5 uniced cakes that will soon be eaten like dog food, how many out of 5 do you give Earth Angel?
Well, so just like a little recap here, I will say that the core thing that I forgot to point out, and we touched on it a little bit, but the core thing that I forgot to point out in this episode that I actually really did like is pushing those boundaries. Like, even though I didn't find it funny like Alex did, I found it more like cringy, I still found it very interesting, and it took me back that they were still saying these things, like, and that's part of where the cringe came from, where I was like, oh Jesus. And I like that. I like to think that this show is insane with stuff like that back in 1987, that it's capable of doing. It still blows my mind. And we talked about it a couple weeks ago with the interview with Amanda, how how many boundaries the show pushed and how it was able to do that and get away with so many things. It still blows my mind. Still, from episode 1 till now, I did not know the show is that raunchy and that crazy. So I love that stuff. And also, I didn't find it overly a funny episode, but I still really liked it. I thought that the end was a little cheap, and I discussed my reasons why. But I actually still really like this episode. Like, I like that. I like what Alex mentioned briefly about Bud and Kelly having like a little moment. That little tiny damn moment, like, still was kind of cool to me. And it was like just a throwaway part in the episode, because it's cool when they're next to each other. I agree with that. It's nice. And yeah, I mean, it's a fun episode. I'm going to give it 3.5 uniced cakes that you're going to eat like dog food out of 5.
Awesome. Jerry, how many uniced?
So I thought about how I've been rating Married with Children episodes. Mm-hmm. And I kind of thought, even the ones that I'm kind of on, I still kind of always give a 3. I'm always like, yeah, I mean, I still liked it. And I decided, you know what? I think I need to be a little bit harder on these ratings.
What is happening right now?
Exactly.
I took my inspiration from Justin.
Whoa.
He was the first one of us to man up and give a rating under a 3. He was the first one. And I decided that I don't have an urge to rewatch this episode. I think there's one really good scene, and then that's it. There's a few jokes that are okay, but nothing that great for me. And I feel like I've explained it, and I might get some hate for this one, but I'm giving this a 2.5 out of 5. This is the first show that I'm giving under a 3.
Wow. This is totally uncalled for.
I just like that you both just said wow at the same time.
I'm shocked. I really am, because I liked the episode, but I'm surprised that you went. I thought I was gonna be to. I forget. Was it Peggy Sue Got Work that I gave it 2.5 to?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was gonna be the only 2.5 for Gears, because I didn't literal Gears, because it's actually gonna take us years to record this. But just because I was like, okay, that's probably the low point, and especially I thought I was gonna be the only person to give it 2.5. So, wow, Jerry. I don't know if I'm impressed or what. I don't know. I don't think impressed is the right word that I'm looking for.
Well,
shocked,
no,
maybe.
I'm hoping I don't catch a lot of flack for it, because you didn't catch a lot of flack for the one you rated that way.
Because that was an appropriate 2.5.
I feel like this is an appropriate 2.5. That ending fell flat.
Okay. Are we still talking about this?
Yeah. What's your rating, Alex? Bring everyone back up to happiness.
Yeah, absolutely. To everybody who is just, their jaws are dragging on the floor right now, guys, I don't know what to say about these two. No, I'm just kidding.
I offer you nothing but honesty.
Yeah, guys, I don't know what to say. No, honestly, I don't know what to say about these two. The truth is that I guess Justin is seeing it from, I don't know. I guess you have to be like a 30-year-old guy who, I really feel that he, more than anybody, will come around. I feel like if he saw this one more time a year for the next 3 years, that by that third year, he's going to go, God, I wish I could redo that show.
Who, me?
He gave it a
3.5. It's still pretty solid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Alex, what is your rating if a 3.5 isn't high enough?
Okay, I'll be honest. As soon as this episode ended, on the upper right corner of my paper, I wrote 5 out of 5.
Woo!
And did any of our conversations or talk have any influence on what your actual rating of Uniced Cakes will be?
That's one thing I definitely wanted to say, because that's one thing I was thinking about. Like, are these guys changing my opinion? And although I'm very open to things, no. It is a 5 out of 5. It's one of those moments where I'm just, like, floored by this whole show. And, like, this will be one of those shows where I think it'll generate more conversation than usual.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, this is...
Well, you have a double swing, right? Like, Jerry literally rated it half of what you did.
Right. You're good. I guess I should... Jerry, yeah, I think... You know what? I think Jerry's going to regret this, too.
I don't think I am. It's not like I hate the episode, but like if I'm rewatching season 2, this would probably be the first episode I would skip.
Wow. We're definitely going to have to put a poll up.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. I can't just continue to rate every episode as the best, because...
Yes, you can.
Then at the season wrap-up, I'm going to...
It's not about that. No. Listen. When we do our ratings, it's Netflix. It's either hated it, don't like it, really liked it, or loved it. That's what those numbers mean. You could literally like every single one, or really like a lot, or love.
I understand that. I do get that. But at the same time, if I'm not honest with myself, then I shouldn't be on this show.
No, that's fine. I'm not saying you should.
And I honestly don't really like this episode. It's
okay.
I don't have an urge to rewatch it. The one good scene I could live without. I could skip this episode.
There's nothing I could articulate here that will...
You sound like you're having an aneurysm.
I know, and that's the thing. If I try to, it'll look like I'm desperate here or something. So I'm not trying to make the world think the way I think. I'm just going to give you what I think. And it is that, guys, for all you who love this episode, yes, keep on loving it, man. It's great. From the premise is amazing. The ridiculousness that this Bud talked this homeless hot girl into coming to the house. Al's reaction, the way his eyes lit up, man, the way he had absolutely no filter is insanely funny. Every line was great. The brawl, the pillows and blankets on the couch so your mother will be comfortable. This is Peg. You probably won't be seeing much of her. The yard work, charging people, combo platters. It's just insanely funny. Even Kelly's getting action off of this whole thing. And Marcy's not getting action. Steve's infatuated. There's nothing that's not funny here. I mean, it's all great. It's so thought out. How does this one react? How does this one react? What happened to this couple? It all is so thought out. The lighting of the episode, like we talked about. Tiffany was amazing. She was super hot when she crossed her legs. Even I look the other way. Even when Al says, "Ha, it's so easy to get you two confused." Then he does that face like, yeah, right. Oh my God, there's nothing that's not amazing about this. From top to bottom, it's the perfect Married with Children episode. Marcy coming in, killing it, saying, "Oh, this is really great. I think you really have talent. I think you should not just settle for, really? Yeah, dummy. Sure, here, you should go to New York. I'll buy your plane ticket. Oh my God, blah, blah." And how else? We're talking about a sitcom here, guys. How else do you think we're going to get this freaking chick out of the house? It is what it is. It's a Married with Children.
I really wish this episode would have been Al versus Bud over her. Like them fighting over her. I think that would have been way more entertaining. Them trying to constantly one-up each other and just like Bud has those really quick lines that he's used on like Steve and Darcy and Marcy and all that. I would have loved to seen him use them on his dad and them two actually like kind of go to war over her and constantly be trying to one-up each other and do low shots and all of that. I think that would have been a much funnier episode than.
Wait, are you talking about Al versus Bud?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you believe this?
What if you took that same concept and made it Steve versus Al?
Oh, that actually probably would be better.
Yeah, I mean, Bud saying, when Al says, "Bud, good to take your mom to see a movie or something," he goes, "Why? I found her."
Yeah. When I actually have that in my notes, I didn't bring it up, but when that was said, I actually wrote down Al versus Bud. And I thought that's where the episode was going to go.
That was perfect what they gave you with that. They actually addressed it in a perfect manner.
Well, you think it's perfect. I obviously do not.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
all right.
Yeah, this is amazing, this episode. Okay, guys. Well, that is the show. Holy crap. Oh, by the way, this episode came out December 6th. I forgot to mention that, 1987. I just loved it. I had the greatest time. I thought these guys would get on here raving about it.
Wait, if this came out in December 6th, does that mean we're about to have a Christmas episode?
It sure does, Jerry. The next episode, we're going to review, and I hate doing this. I am one of those weird guys who do not watch anything Christmas-related unless it's December.
Me and you should be brothers, because I'm the same way, dude. Like, I don't watch Halloween movies out of season. I don't watch Christmas movies. I don't even like watching movies that are snowy, not even Christmas setting, out of season.
If it's not in the winter.
Yeah, I just get it. And it's because I get so into that vibe that I don't like doing it. Yeah.
Like, I can't watch The Shining unless it's like, December to March.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Same way.
Yeah, I love it. So this is going to be a strange episode for me, guys. I'm going to hate doing this next episode, frankly. I almost teetered, or whatever you call it, pondered the idea of asking you guys, do you think we should save all these and just do them in December if it's near the seasons we're in? But no, let's not mess around.
Yeah.
Let's just do You Better Watch Out. The Bundys' Christmas is rudely interrupted when a parachuting mall Santa crash lands into their backyard, attracting the neighborhood kids.
That's funny sounding.
It's no.
Don't
let me mislead you here. It's an amazing episode.
Oh, okay.
It's one of my favorites of my life. But I don't want to watch it right now. So that's the only battle that's going to take place here. But I'll do it because I'm a professional.
I'm stoked for it. While I do try to watch Christmas movies during Christmas and all that, I don't extend it to winter. And I don't have a hard lock on it. If I wake up on a July 4th and go, man, I really want to watch Christmas Vacation, I'm going to do it because this is America where you can't. You have the freedom to do it, and dude. I will do it. You're just being a communist.
Nope, you're being blasphemous. That's what's happening.
I agree with Jerry.
Jerry?
What?
I mean, sorry, I agree with Justin.
No, don't edit that out.
Hey,
Keep
listen,
that
I
in.
had too many celebratory shots.
That stays in.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we'll leave that in there so people think I agree with you. All right, guys, so that's it.
Justin's reaction was so good.
I was like, what?
We would normally have an exiting